All right, trucking companies, this is what you need to do. You need to start listening to your drivers because the drivers know better than um, you guys sitting in the office. The driver is actually out here. They making up deliveries, the pickups. They talking to the customers. They dealing with shipping and receiving. So if you're gonna be successful with your drivers, you need to pay attention to what your drivers are telling you. A lot of these companies, they lose drivers because they not listening to what the drivers telling them. They had this air about themselves that, hey, you just a driver, you're not of any importance to the trucking industry. So what the driver end up doing, they find another company to go with. So that's why we have a revolving door, because companies don't want to listen to the drivers, even though we're out here every day pushing these trucks, trying to, be a pillar to the company. But hey, I guess we gotta please our customers before we can please the drivers. Well, if you didn't have no drivers, you wouldn't have no customers. So let's try to look out for the drivers more. Let's try to, involve them in business operations, because it's the drivers that's actually giving you the business. Drivers could go out here, they could go to shippers and receivers, they could have bad attitudes, they could cost you business, they could cost you fuel. Like, let's try to look at the big picture here. It's not just the customers that's important. You have to take in consideration your drivers. If not, then you're gonna lose drivers. So I'm trying to keep companies from losing drivers, and I'm trying to keep drivers from having to switch from company to company, because a driver don't have no problem going from company to company. So how they say, another man's loss is another man's gain. So if you want to lose a driver and let somebody else gain that driver, especially if it's an experienced driver that's have X amount of years up under their belt. Insurance company requires for you to have, at least 2 years experience. Well, if you got a driver that got 10 years experience and you don't care what that driver's telling you or trying to, inform you on a situation, then hey, that driver could go somewhere else and work for that company that's willing to listen to what he's talking about. So that's what I have to put out there today, to try to let everybody know, but especially the companies know, that hey, you have to listen to your drivers. Whether you like it or not, you have to listen to your drivers. Communication is key. That's what you always preach as a company. Communicate with the company so we could, I guess you could say, better assist you, which that's not something they do for the most part. Don't get me wrong, they got some companies out there that will listen to their drivers, that will try to make it easier on the driver, because they understand the whole politics to trucking. So having customers is good, but if you ain't got the drivers, then what's the use to having the customers? There's nobody to deliver the loads, nobody to pick up the loads, nobody to fill the trucks up, nobody to drive the trucks, nobody to do pre-trips on the trucks. It puts you in a bad spot as a company. So that's where a lot of companies downfall at, because they don't treat their drivers right. So the drivers end up leaving, especially, a good driver. So, they got some bad drivers out there. I see it, as I drive up and down these roads. Drivers cutting other trucks off. It's just, outrageous nowadays. Well, when I first started driving, it wasn't as bad. We had some bad drivers, but it wasn't to the extent that it is now. Now we just now it's just a job for most truck drivers that's been out here for years. There's no fun in it. It's it's just another job. So that's how they look at it. Hey, if it's just a job, I go to another job. So truckers not making it a career anymore because of the politics that's going on with it, and drivers not being treated fair. We out, you know, weeks at a time. Why not make it as easy as possible for the truck driver? So just a bit of information for companies out there that's, you know, treating their drivers any kind of way. You might lose that driver. So be mindful of that, and y'all be safe out there.